Hi, my name is Dan Jackson. Thank you very much for watching this video. In this video, I'm going to explain why an HMO with fancy living space isn't automatically a co-living. I'm also going to share with you my top tips to start to change your HMO portfolio into a future-proofed co-living portfolio today. Stay tuned. When I started UrbanShared in November 2016, I knew that I didn't just want to create rooms in houses. I wanted to create homes. And to do that, we didn't really have a playbook. We didn't really understand too much about what other people were doing. We just knew that we didn't want to create these vanilla HMOs where people lived in their rooms and there was very little interaction. And really back then we were thinking differently to most of the market. We were thinking like co-living operators, to the extent that we even developed our own mobile platform to really enhance the customer experience. And I want to start by dispelling a myth that simply by putting a fantastic shared space into a current HMO, you have miraculously created a co-living environment. That is just so far from the truth. If we look at the technical description of an HMO, which stands for House of Multiple Occupation or Occupants, we see that the formal description of an HMO is a house with 3 or more occupants forming more than one household that share some amenities such as toilets and kitchens. Now that's really where the definition of HMO ends. There's absolutely no description around things like lifestyle, provision of other amenities, and that's really where co-living picks up the baton. Co-living describes a way of living. Its focus is on community, and there is an intent within a co-living to create community. We are also, for the first time, looking at the mental health impact of those living alone versus those living with other people. And we have seen that those living in well-designed co-living with great shared spaces are less likely to be impacted by the mental health issues that are affecting those people that are living alone without the ability to interact with other people. And co-living is really a solution to this problem. So my top tips that you can implement now in your HMO to start to move toward a future-proofed co-living solution. Number 1, tenant or housemate led viewings. We've been doing housemate led viewings for over a year. We often don't even visit the properties during this process. We essentially will facilitate the viewing. We will empower the existing housemates to meet with the new housemate, and we will encourage them to make decisions around their suitability for that property. I can imagine that some of you now are filled with dread by the idea of that creating voids. And yes, in some instances we have had voids as a result of this, but those voids, in my opinion, are seriously mitigated by the fact that we have harmony in properties. What we tend to do is we will step in the last week of the notice period if the housemates have been unable to make a decision around who they can move into the property. And we think that by empowering the housemates and also by giving new housemates an opportunity to meet the people they'll be living with, that we're creating a better solution. Number 2, amenities. Most people who are watching this will likely be HMO operators operating converted Edwardian or Victorian homes, and will be scratching their heads around how you can deliver amenities into that scenario. We partner with local businesses to provide benefits and discounts to our customers. For example, we will partner with a local pizza parlour to offer a discount to UrbanShared customers. We've spoken to leisure centres about providing discounts to UrbanShared customers, and in the main, most local business will be receptive to having a conversation with you about providing your tenants or housemates with benefits that they can deliver. Number 3, locks on doors. Now, I appreciate that this can be a very divisive conversation, but most UrbanShared homes do not have locks on bedroom doors, as I believe very strongly that it creates the wrong message if we have locks on doors. And I know that this is a divisive discussion, and there will be a lot of people that simply cannot believe that we do not offer locks on doors. But the reason that we don't offer locks on doors is because we want people to live as a family, and we don't think that you would lock yourself into your room if you were living as a family. We have had a very small number of people who've come to us and said, we're not moving into an UrbanShared home because there's no locks on doors. And in my opinion, those are the sorts of people that probably will end up living in traditional HMOs and not in co-living. Number 4, we offer a prepaid card in some of our properties, which we will load with some money on a monthly basis and give to our housemates for them to use in whichever way they choose. We recommend that they buy shared stuff for kitchens, for example, oils, coffee, tea, sugar, etc. But if they want to use it to buy some booze and have a pizza party, that's absolutely fine by us. And we feel that that gives them an opportunity to discuss amongst themselves what they might do with that money, and it creates a feeling of community. Number 5, and for me, the most important of these tips, and that is mindset. If we change our mindset to think like a co-living operator, quite quickly we can identify things that we could change across the workflow of our business. The mindset of a co-living operator doesn't think about tenants as being cost centers. It thinks about customers, and it thinks about how we can deliver a customer experience that is great and that is empowering to these customers. And we think of our customers as people that we're continually trying to delight. Now, I know it can be difficult. I understand that sometimes being a landlord is difficult. There's no doubt about that. I feel that too. But I also feel that if we can sometimes step away from the doing and think about our housemates, our tenants as customers, we start to see things differently. Communication is vital. We think that communicating with our customers one-to-one and also as houses is really important, even if it's delivering bad news. And we have to, from time to time, deliver bad news around things maybe taking longer to fix than we'd hope. But having those open and honest conversations and treating these people like customers does ultimately deliver goodwill, which is a great thing in the business. Feedback. We ask for feedback from our customers on a regular basis, and sometimes it's not great and sometimes it helps us to improve our product and service. Most businesses will ask for feedback, but I'm guessing most HMO operators won't. We think that co-living operators will be asking for feedback in order to iterate their business and create a better product. Maintenance. Approximately 75% of tenants leave rented homes because of poor maintenance response. And we could fix that immediately. And as I alluded to earlier, having good communication is really part of that. There's no doubt that delivering great maintenance at timeframes that work for everyone is very difficult. We know that. The margins, for example, for fixing handyman type stuff simply aren't there to be able to do it within a couple of hours. It makes more sense for us to aggregate those tasks and do them less frequently. And sometimes customers don't agree with the length of time it will take us to fix things. But if we explain to them the process, then at least we are being honest and open. And I think that's very, very important. So I think that we can immediately improve the perception of our business and the speed with which we do maintenance by better communication. So I would like to leave you with an example from a different industry as to how we think about our customers. For those of you out there that are not familiar with delivering software online, which is called software as a service, that industry use a couple of metrics that we use internally to think about how much we can spend on retaining customers. They use a metric called CAC, which is the cost of acquiring a customer. And they also use a metric called LTV. Now, this isn't the property description of LTV, loan to value. This is lifetime value. So this is how much a customer is worth to us through the lifetime that they are a customer. If we look at the length of time that people are now renting, it's gone up immeasurably in the last 20 years. But in London, PricewaterhouseCoopers estimate that people now rent up to the age of 35. So if we assume they start renting at the age of 22, they're renting for 13 years. A good percentage of people that rent share homes with other renters. So for the sake of argument, we are assuming that everybody who rents is sharing. Appreciate that that's possibly skewing this metric in our favour, but just bear with me. We're basically saying, therefore, that the lifetime of a customer is 13 years. We estimate approximately £100 profit per month per customer, which means every year somebody living in a shared home profits us £1,200. This means that over 13 years, their value to us as a customer is £15,600. So the lifetime value of a customer in UrbanShared is £15,600. If we head back to lifetime value versus cost of acquiring a customer, the equation used in a SaaS business is that the lifetime value of a customer needs to be 3 times the cost of acquiring that customer. Which means in our case, we could spend £5,600 on acquiring a customer for one of our shared homes. And when I say acquiring, I also mean retaining. So we could spend £5,600 on acquiring and retaining a customer in one of our properties. Now, just so you know, we don't spend that much on acquiring and retaining customers, but we are starting to think along those lines, and spending money on acquiring and retaining a customer when you think about their lifetime value makes you think differently about that customer. So thank you very much for watching this video. As always, I really do appreciate the time that you guys are taking to listen to me and talking about something that I believe very passionate about. If you're interested, please do subscribe and hit the bell icon so that you're notified when I produce more material. In the meantime, thank you very much for watching. Stay safe, and I will see you on the next video.